for the truck race.
I didn't want to interrupt too much.
This fellow said they weren't going up till that guy. Okay, take care.
Nothing like a big act to follow. So here's our new
Did you say a big act to follow?
Here's our new Vision locomotive for 2016. Unveiled this yesterday afternoon in front of the prototype in Strasbourg. A brand new GG1. This will be officially announced in the 2016 signature catalog. But to give you a chance to start figuring out where you're going to hide this and how you're going to sneak it into the house a little early, we thought we'd give all our friends here at York the first peek at it. Also, there's a very good chance that by the time we get back to you here in April, this will have obviously been in the catalog, order periods will have closed, and you won't have had a chance to hear me talk to you and try and pitch this to you and tell you how wonderful and awesome it is. So let's talk a little bit about the GG1 and what we've done to it, because the first question that I know came out of everybody when they heard that we were doing a Vision GG1 was, you did a GG1 and it was pretty darn cool, so what are you going to do with a GG1? I mean, you can't put a depleting coal load in it. Whistle smoke's out of the question, so what else are we going to do? So we started at the top, and we redesigned the pantographs on the scale locomotive. Those who've had the older JLC version, you know that when the pantograph was in the raised position, it was very rigid and a fixed height. It didn't have any play in that. We know that at least 98% of the O-gauge three-railers out there do have complete catenary over all their layout, and so you want to make sure that that pan does ride nicely on the wire. Well, for those of you who do, it actually will do that now. The power pickup is not through the pan, but it will float and ride on wire if you should have it. Because the pantographs are sprung and will flex. It also gives them a little bit more resistance to running into things. To run into a tunnel portal, you're probably on your own on that one. But, you have a nice effect there. In addition to that, get this thing fired back up again. The pantographs will raise and lower with the legacy system. So if you change directions, you'll see the pantographs reverse so that the rear pan is normally up as they were in normal operation. You also can raise and lower them with the controls on the legacy pad. So if you want to run an ice breaking special there and clear the ice off your catenary and run dual pans, you can put them both up and run them around your layout. As the train runs, anyone who's ever seen an electric train go by, especially at night, you get that great arcing effect off of the catenary. And so we've fitted the pantographs with LEDs, and you'll get a random sparking effect as the train goes around. And of course, that's whether you've hung your catenary yet or not. You can still enjoy this feature. If you're picking that up here in the hall, imagine what that's going to look like in your house, in the layout room with the lights turned down, all your street lights on and everything, and these GG1s rolling around like that. Dual pantographs, if you do have them both up, they'll both spark at intermittent intervals, so you won't see them in concert with each other. In addition to the light effect, there's also a sound that goes along with this. I'm going to try and mic the engine here for you. So you have the sound of the catenary wires singing as the train goes by as well. Speaking of sounds, we've done a number to this like we did to the Vision Big Boy. Those who heard that here last year, remember the great sound of the whistle from the stereo speakers with the speaker in the boiler, speakers in the tender. Here we've taken the speakers in this locomotive and moved them out to the ends of the nose, so you get that same stereo effect for things like the air horn. So you'll have quilling, you'll have stereo, and you'll also be able to get a bit of a Doppler effect out of this as the train goes by. And then in addition to that, because the speakers are now localized at different parts of the engine, if you fire the front electrocoupler, you'll hear the sound of the coupler in the front, and vice versa in the rear. The cab talk will come from the front end of the locomotive and so forth. So we'll be able to localize the sounds that should be localized and really amplify the sounds that you want to hear in their best possible capacity. Other fun features on this, of course, it'll have legacy. It'll have a steam generator smoke for the steam generator unit when you're running it with passenger trains or the crew is really cold on a freight train for some reason. You'll also be able to enjoy this to have a full die-cast car body, nice and heavy, cool lots of cars. We'll be making some refinements to the original welded car body shells to correct a few things that weren't quite right based on measuring the prototypes. We're also going to be doing an all-riveted car body variation of this. So even if you thought you had all the GG1s you ever wanted and they all look the same, we need to give you something that looks radically different. Well, we've got 3 versions of old rivets coming for you in 2016, so you can have it as delivered as $48.99 in its Raymond Loewy 5-stripe Futura letterings, Brunswick green screen, and then also in the Conrail Bicentennial scheme. So you have 3 great color schemes in the riveted version and 5 versions to choose from in the welded car body. $49.35, like you see it there. A red version in 5-stripe, a green single stripe, Penn Central, and Amtrak versions in the welded car body. Big question on everyone's mind is how much is it going to cost? You'll find that out in the 2016 signature catalog, not because I'm just trying to lead you on, but because we don't know yet. We haven't quite penned in on the price just yet. When these are put in the catalog, then you'll have the pricing, and that's when you can go to your favorite dealer and order all 8 of them and enjoy. Does anybody have questions?
I assume it's going to sit lower on the trucks than the thing is now.
That's one of the improvements we would like to make to the body, yes. It does have a bit of a high water lift to it.
Are you going to have handrails on the pilots? The handrails that go up and around, that the stairways going up the pilot, at the top of the pilot, it actually has a handrail that extends out of the top of the stairs.
The problem with that handrail on there is, as it is, this will do an 072 curve. If I put that handrail on there, it'll probably do an 0720 curve. So we probably won't be putting that detail on just to keep the curve radius where they are.
It looks like it would clear though.
Other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, everybody.